Hey guys, so I was just praying. Had a long day walking the streets, and I was just praying, and I felt like I was praying some prayers, and I felt like God told me to do a video kind of about just what was happening today and what I was praying. And so it really goes along with what we talked about on Sunday. And on Sunday, if you weren't there, we talked about this idea of suffering in the New Testament. The Greek word used for suffering that Paul talks about and Jesus talks about is this idea of applying pressure and kind of rubbing back and forth, and that really being on the inside of us. And the vast majority of the places Paul talks about it specifically is for the sake of evangelism, for the sake of the lost, and he's suffering for the sake of Christ and his mission. So I prayed a prayer, somewhat reluctantly in front of everybody. I prayed a prayer that the Lord would increase, even now it's like hard to pray, that the Lord would increase my suffering on the inside for the sake of the lost, just the discomfort and the burden to share the love of Christ with the lost. And so I prayed that on Sunday, and man, today, I just really experienced it. And I just talked with and prayed with a handful of people, and so many people are just so harassed and helpless. It talks about harassed and helpless like a sheep without a shepherd. And I actually shared that verse with a young man today. Guys, can I just ask you to do something? Would you pray that prayer? Would you pray that prayer that God would stir inside of you in a way that it's uncomfortable, knowing how many people are lost, or are harassed and helpless like a sheep without a shepherd? Would you pray that prayer? Because the Lord's already answering it, and it's not comfortable, but I feel. I think the Lord's starting to show me a little bit of what He experiences, looking down, looking at our city and seeing so many people that just don't know Him. And so, yeah, guys, I would, if I would encourage you to do anything, would you pray that prayer? Would you pray that prayer along with me? I think that's all I'm supposed to share. So I love you guys. Thanks.